Today's the day that every New Yorker has been dreaded. A judge has ultimately decided that K Flock's rap career is officially over. Now, this one has to really hurt K Flock because K Flock really thought he was coming home today. It's weird because K Flock is literally the greatest NY drill rapper ever, but his catalog probably spanned what, a year or two before he got arrested for the murder in 2021. And he got arrested a week after signing a $1.1 million deal. So he was already super rich and he caught the body a week later. Now, the thing is, with this body, it was kind of 50-50. When he initially got arrested, to be honest, the circumstances surrounding this murder, a lot of people thought he'll be coming home and beating this case easily. Operation Special. Operation Special. Shot fire activation, 1832 Amsterdam Avenue. 2 rounds, street level, and the confines of the 3L. Council, 3L Lieutenant. He shot and killed one of his ops called Oscar Hernandez. Now, K Flock was walking through the neighborhood with 2 girls. Now, when he was walking through the neighborhood, he just coincidentally spotted one of his ops in the barbershop. So he stopped, looked in the barbershop. He seen the op seen him, but then he kept walking. This other angle shows like K Flock looking, stopping, looking again. They just kept walking because obviously he got 2 women with him. He don't really want to get in trouble right now, so he keeps walking, kind of looking back for the.
Yeah, from the second angle of this video, you can see K Flock viewing and seeing his opposition in the barbershop, but deciding to walk away because it's with 2 females, meaning he does not want any trouble. The reason as to why the person in the barbershop comes out and pursues K Flock is a mystery to me. I don't understand that. Because if he just had stayed in the barbershop or exited the barbershop and made his way away from K Flock, most likely whatever happens after this year would not happen.
Dude, just to see if he comes out. The dude then hops out, right? Hops out the barbershop. It looks like they have some words. He said, "What?" And then he kept walking towards K Flock with his hands in his pocket. Come to find out he was armed. We're gonna stop the video here because it gets graphic. But as he's walking towards K Flock with his.
And that's the thing now with this day and age is that almost everybody's armed. Nobody's gonna come to you and have a fair one-on-one fight. Times have changed, people have changed, things have changed. No one's willing to take a one-on-one. People want to come, they want to pull out their guns. Most of the time, these people can't even fight. They're hiding behind their firearms.
Hands in his arms, K Flock shoots, dudes get hits and fall back, and we watch it all play out on camera. So obviously, again, if this was anywhere other than New York, that's self-defense, bro. I'm walking away, you're hawking me down with your hands in your pockets, come to find out you had a gun on you, I'm with 2 women. That's self-defense anywhere else but New York. When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded gun that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. We consider that to be self-defense.
So he did shoot him in self-defense.
That's what the allegation is. I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case.
Okay.
The government claims that he pulled the gun out and shot him, but at the same time,
if you see an opposition or enemy of yours approaching you with a gun, what are you going to do? What K Flock did is understandable because he saw that he was being approached by an enemy who was about to pull out a firearm. What was he supposed to do? He had nowhere to go. He had to pull it out and defend himself.
The person that was dead on the ground had his hand on a loaded weapon, a legal loaded weapon, apparently about to shoot Kevin.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense. That's the crux.
That could be one of the arguments, self-defense, and I would say to the public, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded gun and it's pretty clear he's going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get shot? Or do you not want to get shot?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to pull the trigger.
The police ain't dumb. They understand their case was very weak. So you know what they did, bro? Right? When they pretty much realized, listen, man, all right, no jury is about to convict this kid for shooting a violent criminal walking towards him with a gun in his pocket while he's with two women. No jury is convicting that kid of murder. So what they did was the feds told the state step aside, bro. We'll pick it up, right? So after charging K Flock for a weak murder case, the feds followed up and charged K Flock with a RICO. Take a look at this. So they charged K Flock with the RICO in 2023. K Flock got arrested in 2021 for the murder. It took him 2 years to realize the murder case is weak, bro. Let's charge this man with a RICO. Yo, if them folks want you, they gonna get you. That's the lesson of the story here, bro. If these folks want you, they gonna get you. Now, I'm not saying K5 is innocent, right, at all, right? Because I actually believe he's guilty of the other charges, okay? Not murder, the other charges he's guilty of. So it was an 8-member RICO, K5 gang is set aside. They charged him with racketeering, conspiracy, murder, attempted murder, robberies, possession of firearms, among other things.
Well, it's a death-eligible case. It doesn't mean it's actually become a death penalty case. He's charged with murder and aid of racketeering. He's charged with RICO conspiracy, various gun charges. It's obviously the most serious case you can have in the federal or even state system in America. But I'm not all that surprised because the case was originally
the reason the state put so many charges, the states with the feds, the reason they put so many charges on him is to ensure a conviction of it.
New York State matter, and it was just the murder that was charged along with possession of the gun. And the case was incredibly weak. And frankly, I didn't think there was any chance that we were going to lose the murder charge because it was clear based on a video there were videos all over the street. There were security cameras on when this occurred in the middle of the day, and it couldn't be more clear that this was an act of self-defense. So what I realized, eventually, was that they just could not win that murder case. So what did they do? They're going to drop the state case and they're going to just transfer it to the federal system, and it allows them to charge all sorts of other violent acts as part of their RICO conspiracy charge.
And then when they talk about conspiracy, to prove that you're in it, for the government to prove that any individual is in a conspiracy, how high a bar is that? Or what do they need to do?
It's not very high of a bar to establish some of the elements of the RICO conspiracy, namely that they were conspiring to violate the RICO statute. And it could just be any number of violent crimes or other acts that were done on behalf of an enterprise.
I don't think K-Flock had any other choice but to take this to trial. I don't think they offered him a plea deal. But, bro, he was doomed during his RICO trial from the very beginning, bro. If you guys was paying attention to this trial, bro, you had his homies coming and taking a stand against him. Not just homies. You had people who...
Yeah, that's what usually happens when you charge in a RICO with a couple of people. Most of the people that you can charge with, they will come on stand and snitch against you to lighten their sentence. Thinking that you're going with all your people, you'll all get charged and no one's going to snitch. That's a fantasy. Most of the time, they snitch.
Apparently, they got spanked, they got robbed, they got shot. K-Flock told them, yo, bro, I got you. Bro, bro, I'll throw it all the way for you, bro. I'm going to spin for you. K-Flock goes and spin for him, right? Goes and shoot and do a drill for him. That same person that K-Flock did entire drill.
Yeah, that's the thing about this case. One of his friends, something bad happened to him. K-Flock goes and gets essentially revenge for him, goes and allegedly shoots somebody. And then in the end, the person that he went to help, the person that he extracted so-called revenge for, goes on stage or on the stand and testifies against him, essentially snitching against him.
Before he took a stand against K-Flock and told them folks everything, bro. Told them folks, yo, he shot him for me. He told me he was gonna do it. Yo, one of the slimiest things I think anybody could ever do is one thing to riot and snitch, which we support. We support snitching and rioting, bro. But disloyalty, that man spun the block for you, man. You took the stand against him. That's crazy. Unfortunately for K-Flock, people snitching on him isn't the only thing he had to overcome. K-Flock had to overcome his own self-snitching. K-Flock put on a display of snitching, of self-snitching.
That's another problem with this day and age. Everybody wants to be posting and speaking of everything negative that they've done. That's what self-snitching is. Why would we speak about something wrong that you've done, knowing that it comes with consequences, knowing that you can get arrested and go to prison, charged, etc.? Use your brain for once.
We've never seen before, bruh. K-Flock is a legendary Hall of Fame self-snitcher, second only to A.R.I., bruh. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And in some instances, he might be a greater self-snitcher than A.R.I. K-Flock was charged for attempted murder in his RICO. So the attempted murder took place June 20th of 2020. Now, according to the surveillance video of the attempted murder and defendant's own Instagram stories, yes, K-Flock owned Instagram stories. The defendant was with Michael Gant, the person who fired the shots, and Munchie, another member of Third Side. Just 2 hours before the shooting, in two vehicles consistent with the two getaway vehicles used in the shooting. Approximately 30 minutes, again, 30 minutes after the shooting, K-Fly texted another individual, "We just made 2 movies on the 8th," referring to the shootings at the 800s twice. These dudes are using slang as if the feds don't already got their lingo in an ebook already, bruh. Right? Now, the defendant continued by explaining they had 2 poles. We was 2 poles deep. They had 2 guns on them. Now, the first time, now apparently they spun twice. The first time they spun, he wrote in the message, "No one was hit." The defendant wrote, but then explained that the second time he was not sure, but he stood in.
Why message or speak of a crime that you've just committed, whether it be on social media or via phone call or via text message, when all that they can be checked by the feds and the states and the law? That's another example of self-snitching, doing something wrong and still speaking about it, knowing that everything you do can be tracked once you speak of it.
In the V, meaning he stayed in the vehicle during the second shooting when K-Flock's friends made fun of him for being a bit boy by sitting in a V. The defendant shot back, "I made the first move, the F, we chilled and bent back, and I let my son Munch make his." So he's snitching on his homies, bro, in text messages, bro, clear as day. Now the fans said, "Hold on, bro, these messages clearly show that the shooting that resulted in 4 people getting shot that early morning, including Eli getting shot in the jaw, was not only with the defendant's knowledge, but it had been the defendant's plan with his consent." I mean, listen, bro, he put it clear as day in our messages, bro. He listed out the exact details of how the shooting took place, even though he was in the vehicle for the second.
This self-snitching to me essentially seems like people are seeking the approval or recognition of other people to say, well, they're capable of doing things and have done things. But in the end, that can put you into prison. Why would you speak of the things that you've done? If you know you can do things, keep it to yourself and do what you want to do. Don't do it and then speak and tell people and then be surprised when a negative outcome comes.
Time when somebody got hit, he still instructed them and consented. Now, here's where it gets worse, okay? You know the guy Eli who got shot, right? K-Flock was in the vehicle when Eli got shot. K-Flock didn't shoot Eli. But K-Flock will record a record shortly afterwards where he's taking credit for Eli being shot.
Yeah, being late. Why you running? I ain't even flame. You with double hitters, how I come I aim. Eli got shot, he walking with a cane.
Come on, man.
This is another example of self-snitching. Self-snitching in the music you make and in the music videos that you shoot. What you talking about your crimes for? And then expecting not to go to prison for it. In your music videos, you're depicting and reenacting a crime that you committed. You think that people watching the law especially can't put 2 and 2 together?
You took this to trial. You wasted them folks' time by taking this to trial. You ain't messages admitting that y'all done shot up Eli. Then you put it in the song you done shot up Eli. And you know what's worse? Truly the self-snitching doesn't get much worse than this, right? You'll be wrong. K-Flock was arrested in 2021 on murder charges. This video here got released as an official song September 1st of 2022. That would mean that K-Flock got arrested for murder. While in jail fighting a murder case, K-Flock decided it was a good idea to release a song confessing to shootings that he did and he was involved in.
That's another dummy move that he did. You're incarcerated and you still release a track that incriminates your case. A track that will essentially reflect negatively upon your case. Why would you release that track? while you're in prison, and why would you ever release the track knowing that the track involves you snitching on yourself?
June 26, 2020, K Flock self-snitched on another attempted murder. Now, this one was done 6 days after the first one. These boys was busy in that week, okay? So this was a get back for K.
Now he goes and speaks on other things that he's done, giving the law and the state and the feds more evidence against him to open other cases upon him.
K Flock mans that K Flock promises mans on. So K Flock and his mans was involved in a shooting earlier that day. June 26, 2020, one of his men, Nicholas Johnson and Philippe Santiago, they went ahead and spun on some ops. Now, when they spun on some ops, though, the feds believe they spun on some ops because K Flock and his homies were shot at earlier that day. K Flock's homie got shot in the stomach. K Flock got grazed. They went to the hospital. Now, that homie who got shot in the stomach, that's the homie who took the stand and told them folks that K Flock told him he got him and he gonna spin for him. So the feds figured out that this was a retaliation shooting because earlier that day, right before Nicholas Johnson and Philip Santiago went to go slide, K Flock.
The feds don't even have to really figure out anything for themselves, because these people, before they do anything, they're going and they're posting on social media and everywhere possible what they're about to do. So for the feds to open a case and get information is not that hard, because all they have to do essentially is go on social media, look at their posts, and then investigate thereafter.
I get some text messages telling people about a shootout he just got into earlier in the day. K Flock text somebody, my son got hit in his stomach, referring to the person who took the stand against him, and I flopped back though, angry emoji, meaning he shot back. So K Flock is letting them folks know the motive and everything in Instagram DMs, bro. What is wrong with this kid, man? So because of this, he was obviously found guilty on racketeering conspiracy. Now, K Flock was found not guilty on the murder, obviously because he didn't do it, but he was found guilty on racketeering conspiracy, and I actually got the jury sheet. So regarding count 1 racketeering conspiracy, he was found guilty, obviously, and they believe that the aggregating factors that are required to prove racketeering conspiracy were met. They believe that acts involving murder, like attempted murder, aided and abetted murder, causing another to commit murder, conspiracy to commit murder, committed. Like they believe that was proven. Obviously, with the attempted murder, they believe that K Flock, not only engaged in attempted murder, but he aided and abetted attempted murder. Acts involving wire fraud, they did do some PPP loans, right, to further the gang. Since K Flock is the leader of Stepside, he's also found guilty of the wire fraud and acts involving bank fraud. Now, he was found not guilty involving the murder of Oscar Hernandez. Count 2, murder in aid of racketeering, he was found not guilty of that. And that was obviously the charge in relation to Oscar Hernandez. Count 3, violent crimes in aid of racketeering, he was found guilty. They believe that, that K Flock aided in an assault with a dangerous weapon, and he also aided in attempted murder. Count 4, firearms offense, he was found guilty of being in possession of firearms. He brandished a firearm and he discharged a firearm. What?
You, just you, building your app on base 44.
One would think if you get found guilty of all of this, you're on your bunk bag praying that when sentencing comes, the judge takes it easy on you. The judge goes leave. What you don't do is run to social media, pretty much speaking as if it's a certain the judge about to take it easy on you. So K Flock takes to his Instagram story, man, and K Flock writes, "I'll beat the top count."
Why would you go and post anything regarding your case while your case is still on track or being investigated?
I made the judge cry. He said, now he not forced to give me life. First off, man, if the judge about to take it easy on you, man, why would you blow the spot up, bro? Why would you take to Instagram letting them folks, I made the judge cry. Now the judge gonna be forced.
Who told you that you made that judge cry? If the judge had to see this, most likely he can't take it easy on you, even if it was his intention to do so.
To look like he not taking it easy on you, bro. But he didn't stop there, bro. He continued with more self-snitching. So K Fox says, listen, alhamdulillah, everything good. not good and everything bad, not bad. Just gotta stay humble till the outcome of your situation. He's speaking as if he won. Yo, he's speaking as if he coming home tomorrow, man. You see, everything good, not really that good. Everything bad, not really that bad, bruh. Y'all just gotta learn to be patient and stay humble until the outcome comes. He continues and he says, and see what Allah got for you, right? You just gotta be humble to the outcome of your situation and see what Allah got for you. You know, that's what I did. Chin up, chest out. It ain't over. Nowhere near. Remain a G and stay sucker free. Now, this is where I don't know who's advising K-Flock, bruh, but I blame his handlers, bruh. This kid, immediately after beating the murder case, got found guilty of attempted murder on a case.
Poetic Flacco said he should blame the handlers for allowing him to post this. So if he's got management that's managing his social media and other things, whoever saw this, whoever's managing his posts and social media and so forth, communications, they should not have allowed him to post something like this because this will have a negative effect on the outcome of his case.
Case with multiple rats and multiple witnesses who took the stand against them. K-Flock writes, never fold, never will. Free the thoroughbred ones, kill all rats. K-Flock wrote,
Kill all rats. That's essentially ensuring a conviction upon yourself. Why would you mention anything about kill all rats? Now the judge and the jury and the court system are about to make an example of you simply for posting something like this. Kill all rats. You promoting violence and death.
seconds after getting found guilty of racketeering conspiracy, kill all rats. On a case where rats took the stand against K-Flock. That was all I needed to see, man. I knew the judge was going to spank him. That was all I needed to see. I knew the judge was going to spank him after that. First off, you said the judge cried. You kind of find out that wasn't true. But you made it seem as if the judge was about to let you out. Then secondly, you said kill all rats and you are on a case with multiple rats. So even if he lets you out, in the back of his mind, oh wait, if I let him out, he's about to commit murder.
In the back of his mind, he knows that if he lets him off this case after he said kill all rats, there's a possibility of him coming back and killing the people that snitched on him. How can you post something like that?
Murder on the people who took the stand against him. Man, cut it out, man. So K-Flock was ultimately found guilty of 25 years in prison, 5 years of supervised release afterwards. So essentially, he got a 30-year sentence if you account the supervised release, but 25 if you don't. 30 years, 25 in prison, 5 years supervised release. That rap career over with, bro. K-Flock will get released, I think, when he's about 42 years old, if we're taking time served into consideration. Yeah, this is despicable, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? All right, do y'all believe K-Flock deserves a second chance, or do y'all think the self-snitching, man? The self-snitching he did.
No, in the end, is the self-snitching actually worth it? Yes, you did wrong things for whatever reason, but why still go and talk about it, post, and tell people what you're doing, and then expect a different outcome? Are your actions worth the outcome? That's what you need to ask yourself before you do anything. That 25 to 30 years is not worth. Him snitching on himself is not worth those 30 years. So before you do anything and take action, use your mind, think twice.
This is just the karma of that, bro. Let me know in the comment section what you guys